there, and get this show started. There we go. All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. That didn't last the proper timing there, but that's okay. So, welcome. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. And here we are at this image right here. This is the thumbnail. Can't really tell what's going on right here quite yet until we start going frame by frame. So, first off, we're going to get this loaded up here. And while that's loading up, I'll take a moment here to thank all of you for taking a moment of your precious time, even in replay, to come here and be part of this precious family. Okay, this is not your ordinary YouTube live stream. Okay, this is a little different here. Also, I need to put a warning on this show. This is going to be some disturbing information, so this is only for the spiritually strong. Okay, going to have a good foundation and hold on tight because what you're seeing is going to be a little breathtaking. Okay, so everybody take a nice deep breath, and here we go. Okay, I'll get my pointer out here. Okay, so first off, we're going to come on, catch the opening frame here. And actually, for those of you with eyes that see, kind of watch that first for a second. It's kind of hidden, but we'll expose it. All right, so let's catch. Oh, there it was. Right there. All right, so opening frame 024. Let me scooch just a little bit closer to you. Put your arm around me. Here we go. Marching forward. See our small little object or something trailing out down here, something here, sneaking through. Then over here, you see where our spire is coming out. Comes an event. Okay, right here is, well, let's just start zooming in on this really quick here. On the red side, whoops. Get right about there. And now you can see a round spheroid object back here, light coming out, bending, and going around it right here. All right, so this is already reacting when it's this close, okay? There's something else down here, and you see flow trailing across. This is flow that's trailing across the grain, okay? So this thing's coming out, this thing's here, and it has stuff flowing across the grain already. Now let's see if I think on this side we can just kind of keep going a little bit here. All right, so now you see this plasma coming out here. There's something back here that's bending light, right? Boom. So light is streaking out here and trailing off something back here. And then there's this moon right here that's taking light and bending it down and wrapping around this object that's kind of hiding right in there. And let's pull it over to this side. I think it's kind of washed out in the light right now, but here's our object right here. And you can see the plasma streaking back this way. There's something else back behind here causing this plasma to streak across the grain. And then let me pull back out a little bit. And we'll keep marching along here. Now you can see that this polarity is coming off, crossing, going down and around. Some of it's going around it this way. And then we got this coming off of here. Something back here is causing this light to come and arc and go that way. So watch as we keep going here. Think right about is there, or do we pass it? No, I think we passed it. Right about here. I want to bring it over this way. Can we bring it over? No. All right. We have something going on back here. You see this curvature right through there? And then we'll zoom in just a tad bit here. We got to kind of All right. Here's our round spherical object kind of back in here, the bigger one. There's a moon right here, another satellite moon. This is the ghost image or something of one of these, okay? But you can clearly see something circular was right here, either the ghost image or what. All kinds of little ones going along with it. There's a bigger one. You can see the plasma coming out and draping over and then spitting off the top right there a little bit. Yeah, grab some popcorn. Here we go. This one's a little hard to see because it's kind of hidden back in there, but you can see a little arcing going back in this way. It's the flow asymmetries that kind of really paint these. So let me pull back just a little bit here so you guys can see a little bit better there. All right, and you see our widespread from here down to here. So here's our bigger object back in here with a bunch of little moons. All right, so let me get that little. You can see our flow coming off right here. Let's even kind of get into that side a little bit because it's pretty defined here. Go in just a tad bit right there. I think should be good. You can see this is coming out, spitting backward right there. Some flaring off the top here. So there's something bigger back in here. These are a bunch of satellites that are trailing along with it. You see our big cone conical effect right here still. And then let me pull back just a tad bit there. Get back to the buttons. You can slide it over. There we go. That one right there where you can see stuff flailing off the top of it. If you've ever dealt with aerodynamics or fluid dynamics, you know that when something goes over a sphere, it kind of lower pressure will pull it back down a little bit. So there's something right in there and a little moon here. Okay. All right, so there's your capture for today of one of our bigger objects sneaking by with some moons and stuff. Let me go ahead and put that back into motion there. And pick a side, watch it a few times on one side here. I'll even slow it down a little bit. All right, so let that sit there for a second. Let you guys kind of absorb what's going on there. Most of you have seen this activity already here at this channel. So here we go again. Big one right there. And sometimes the ghost images that trail along behind on this side kind of make it look weird. This side's a little clearer. Sometimes if you get a good crisp image like that right there, it's seen a little better on this side. Okay, so there's that. Now let's get on into, hey, come back here. I was gonna say, let's get back into our solar ham here. It's coming back, please, Lord. Can we have the whole show back, please? Jesus, can we have our show back? All right. Well, that was fun. Here we go. And maybe we'll just refresh or what? There it goes. All right. Thank you for your patience. So here we go. Solar flux into C, down 9 points. That's good. I'll take any little bit going downward we can. Sunspot number count down 7 points. We're well down below the red now to 163, so that's good. And our area is back into the yellow. That's good. I want to pop this open really quick for you. But it might not be really quick. So. All right, let's take a peek around the sun, shall we? 3799, still kind of this weird configuration. We still got the oddball down here, but it's kind of losing strength and rotating out of the field now. Still looking kind of quiet all, around this area coming in. So next one will be 3806 with this little red and orange starting to grow right there. We'll have to watch that one. if that was our event that just happened right there, that one might diminish if the event just finished off. So we might see that one declining soon. Whoops, other direction. Go back like that. And let's go see how fluxed we are. Here's your solar X-ray flux for today. You can see we're cruising along down here at this level, and then all of a sudden a jump up in our main indice. We're just kind of cruising along a little higher now. Okay, so it was down here, a little energy bump up here. Now we're cruising along. Nothing really, kind of just these little hits and misses. But this does not reflect what we just saw on the satellite, does it? Okay, because this instrument's between, the sun and us. So it's kind of giving us, data that's coming our way, not necessarily all the data from coming off the sun. So then going into this day, there's a little hiccup here, a little event, and I would like to tease you and go say, let's not take a peek at it, but I don't think we have it yet. So let's just go back here and back up just a tad bit here. See, this is missing. What if we refresh? Can we get a little blue? Nope. All right, shot down tonight. Back to our report. So we'll have a little surprise for tomorrow night, seeing what's going on here. Probably just some trailing satellites. Okay, usually when a big one goes by, has a few little ones before it, the main event, and then a bunch of little ones trailing after it. So probably that kind of activity right now anyway. All right, now let's get back to our three-day geomagnetic forecast. A bunch has changed, hasn't it? Yes. Well, here for August 29th, they're calling for a G1. All right. So, and then nothing for the next couple of days, which is fine with me. We'll watch this as it comes in. Okay. Meanwhile, X flare potential down to 10%, M flare down to 55. That's good. Right now it says, in the past 24 hours, a G1 storm. Okay. So here we had this one. This was a G2. All right, it came in last night. I remember I showed you on the auroras that we were having an event, and we were like right around here somewhere, and the next couple of spikes would be, and there it is. Let me just open this up a little bit for you. So we had a little hit. It dipped down, took a second little hit. So that's energy being absorbed right there, down to the core, all right? So we're going to have a little hiccup of pressure come from down below in the next day or so. All right, so there's that. Meanwhile, auroras are pretty weak right now. Let's come over to our sunspots. The oddball, beta gamma, and declining. After our event finished off, it's declining. 39 or 99 here, just finished off its event. It's declining. 36 or 96 here, declining as well. So we had a lot of red on here last night. And now they're all declining and going away because, our event is kind of past now. And we'll still see spits and sputters and little satellites. We'll probably see two more big ones because it seems to come in a 3-pack. We get 3 big ones in a row, and then a break, and then the 3 again, then a break. All right, so let's get into this. The BZ component of the interplanetary magnetic field has tipped south, pointing to -12. Active geomagnetic conditions, KP4, will be possible. That was yesterday. That changed now. So I want to open this up real quick and see. Yeah. All right, so CME heading this direction, and look how it's kind of rotating backwards, catching this like coronal hole spiral arm effect, dragging it away. And nothing really heading towards Earth. That's good. But what a different kind of effect that we see here, kind of peeling this stuff back in a way. So interesting. Now, just because the CME is heading away, the object could have been going in this trajectory, and as it hits that magnetic field, it responds in this direction. As say if it's out here, let's use the center circle. Bing, a spark would jump. It would connect, causing the CME in that direction. But said object could still go this way, and within 3 days, we could see unexpected geomagnetic storming again. All right, not showing much on this. Well, did show an impact after the second right here. Just not an impact, but a slight increase. All right, so meanwhile, let's just kind of move along here. All right, we're done there. Let's come on over here to space weather really quick. Wow, something else running in the background. All right. The massive CME targets Venus. A solar magnetic filament erupted yesterday, hurling a bright CME into space. It won't hit Earth. Won't. Keyword hit Earth. Instead, the CME is heading for Venus. NASA model predicts it will strike the second planet on August 30th, which we just looked at. The impact will erode a small amount of atmosphere from Venus's unprotected cloud tops. Well, good thing it wasn't coming our way because we don't need our atmosphere eroded. CME impact sparks geomagnetic storms. Okay, yesterday, August 27th, the CME struck Earth. All right, so it was a day late and it was a G2. Oh, wait, no, it was a little, yeah, it was a G2, yeah. Let's see. Let's finish this. It did not cause immediate geomagnetic storming. However, during the early hours of August 28th, magnetic fields in the CME's wake linked to the Earth's magnetic field, causing storms of category G2. Okay, so however they were linked, and we had a G2 instead of G1. It was unexpected, a day late. All right, so this stuff is very tricky, all right? Not every time is it going to hit when it's expected, and then not every time is it going to be the strength that's expected. These objects have different, sizes. Sometimes when they grab energy or plasma off the sun and they zoom past us, our magnetic fields interact. If it's a big object, sometimes they're stronger, medium size, small ones. So really hard to kind of predict, but unexpected and stronger geomagnetic storms shouldn't surprise here. Okay, I was telling you the day before on August 27th or whatever, or 26th, don't be surprised if it comes in stronger than G1. Well, it came in a day late and stronger at G2. So it got me by a day and it got them by magnitude. See what I'm saying? So very tricky stuff. But there's your auroras that were captured over Nebraska. Here's this in Czech Republic. You can come over, read the article some more. It'd be good if you did. All right, let's move on to the Schumann. This is much better. I like to see just green line. That's good continuity. Look at this. We had a little excitement in the lower bands. It was like it's interesting how it didn't hit the other ones. Usually when we have something up higher, it goes down lower too. Very rarely do we have something that's just lower than 7.83. And here it's kind of doing it again. Let me refresh just in case we got newer data. Yeah, well, we came out of that event with some continuity right here. So that's good. Probably because the show just started and we got some good vibes going now. Okay, so all in all, a little bit better day than what we've experienced in the last 48 hours. Have been pretty bumpy ride. And indicators, pressures kind of evened out, little grinding, but not much. Okay, so that's good news. I like to see it nice and calm like this and not all just chaotic like that. Moving on, let's come on over here and we're going to have to reload that page. Bear with me, we always have a little technical difficulties, not always, but sometimes here. So, how do I do this properly, Lord? Let's just kind of start off, let you look around a little bit here. Boom, boom. There's Hawaii. Here's our other one. And look what's out here. Another one forming. Look, almost evenly spaced. So they're riding that conveyor belt right there. What was the other one? Oh yeah. So you see this flow going right up through the country right there. Okay. This was looking a little strange about an hour ago. Let's just kind of go back here 1 hour. I think it was right about there. Or maybe just the hour before. No, it was right about there. Where this was looking just, All right, so there's your storms. This one hitting Taiwan here. Let me just go to now. Make sure we're getting proper timing. So another strong storm just went across the island. Now it's starting to head towards the gap and gonna hit South Korea and the Korean Peninsula next. So pray for the people in that area. All right, so there's that. Now let me position for the sandstorm. You guys see that right there? Okay. We're gonna go ahead and put on the particulates in the sand. Please come in the sand. Thank you. Now you can see our sandstorm coming from that region right there, getting very intense, coming off, going across the ocean. We have little breaks right here, breaks in intensity. So, we got to watch out that no hurricane genesis happens in there. Meanwhile, the sand has actually been pulled across into the Pacific side now by these three storms that we had here. So you pulled all the sand over, and it's kind of keeping these ones. They would be a little stronger if it wasn't for that sand. Let's just say that much. All right, and you can see how it's just coming up all through the country, up into Canada. So the sandstorm, hits, dissipates, spreads out. You might have some hazy skies, some weird looking clouds, right? All right, but meantime, our strong plume coming off right here has taken kind of a little break, but there's that. And then as we go backwards here, you can see Saudi Arabia is having their issues, okay? And well, the eyes or this one's still going pretty good over here in the Gobi Desert, but the eyes are kind of diminished. It's still there slightly, but it looks like there was kind of different setup. Meanwhile, still, all of Saudi Arabia ran. Then it's blowing across the ocean and hitting India. So they're not only getting SO2, but sandstorms as well. And you see this one clear spot. That's like the one clear spot in the whole planet, really, except out in the ocean. And it's got a very intense plume right next to it. It's the Gobi Desert right there. All right, so there's your sandstorm report. I'm glad that, well, let's just move on, shall we? Chemicals, SO2. This is sulfur dioxide, not carbon dioxide. All right, so we start off here in America. Here's your country divided. You can see it's bleeding out on one side, perforations in the crust on the other side. Every time. Oh, gee, look at this. No, don't look at that. Let's come on over here and start our report. put some fires on really quick here. Okay, start up here in Canada. You can see this SO2 comes out of the ground so hot it sparks fires in the area, causing spontaneous combustion from any kind of surrounding vegetation. You could dry it out pretty quick, and then the gas being so hot at the site kind of sparks the fires as well. All right, and then as we come on down, we can see this emission site here in Oregon still pumping out, still going strong right there. Meanwhile, we had this event up here in Wyoming where we seen some fires. Okay. And then down here, it was creeping into California. We have this spot down here, still going, still pumping out SO2, still got a pretty good little fire going there. This one surprises me. There's nothing there, but we're talking out in the desert, bunch of sand, so there's probably nothing around to burn really in that area. Wow, really? Dang. Looks like it's going to be a busy night. All right, let me take the fires off here. Sorry, I got a little distracted by some of that spiritual stuff. I'm going to get back to the show here. You can see Oahu's pretty intense right now. Hawaii's getting a little intense. And then these storms are lined up to hit the Hawaiian Islands. So everybody that lives in the islands, take cover, prepare. All right, it's going to be a long, stormy couple of days there. So just, Kathy, please take cover, take shelter, be wise. Okay, sweetie. Moving on over. Ooh, right in that chin. Okay, let me adjust for their time. All right, and then let me get this light back up. I thought that was going to help, but it doesn't. I want this to give the correct colorage and readings because I don't want it to look darker than it is. Okay, there we go. It's a little better. All right, you can see China. This gas comes out of the ground, clears out little pathways, little zigzag, like puzzle piece type pathways up through the dirt, up through the crust, till it reaches the surface, and then emits this SO2. Meanwhile, all the flooding that they're getting goes back into those holes, eroding out those tubes, and this land is very porous, and if it continues, fluctuating like it is, this could dissolve. They need to get on board, realize their mistake, and I bet you a lot of that would come to an end. Meanwhile, you can see over here in India, they got their issues as well. This region darkening up as well. They got stronger emission sites, and you saw the wind patterns, and they have their vortex going on right here too. Let me just put the wind back on really quick here for you guys at this spot, so you can see how the wind patterns are taking a lot of this SO2, this storm, pulling it up and throwing it up against the Himalayas here, and it can't make it over, so it circulates back down around. So this is like the circulation on your AC in your car, just taking the old fart and recycling it back into the car. Remember, this smells like SO2. That's why I was kind of... There we go. Now, clear this off of there. Come over here to Saudi Arabia, Iran, the whole Middle East, having their issues over here. Boy, they should get on board too, realize their mistakes. And over here, we got this whole country bleeding out too. And here we are up at Iceland. Very intense plume coming out of there. Heads right for England. So these guys are getting, not only are they emitting SO2 themselves, but they're getting pummeled with SO2 that's coming from Iceland as well. Okay. And we look around. You can see a lot of the up at the top of the world here. There's a lot of intense plumes because we've seen a lot of pressure being delivered up at the top of the world and a lot of heat signatures. Well, a lot that's because we got a lot of magma underneath up here pushing up through the crust, pushing SO2 out the ground, causing fires up here, and a lot of heat plumes in the water as well. Okay, let's come on down here to Java. Very very dark purple coloration here. Not so much tonight, but you can see the wind has pulled some of it off of there. So all in all, it would be a little darker if you put all of this stuff that's offshore back on the island. So been very productive today as far as SO2 emissions. This is a relief valve that helps relieve pressure in the region. Now, as we go on up, you can see Malaysia here in the little tip. It's got a little spot that's getting intense as well. And then as we kind of come over, you can see Australia has its issues as well. No place is really safe anymore. Here we are at New Zealand. They have a White Island volcano issues and stuff going along their shorelines. But what we want to talk about is right here, this little island. Looks like a little boat kind of when we do this, but got two good emission sites, two good volcanoes right there emitting, not volcanoes, but emission sites right here that relieve a lot of the pressure when it comes into our plate boundary system right here. Meanwhile, here's the originator most deep quakes, the Fiji area, and you got Tonga and some of these other islands emitting SO2. All right, so you see it's coming out of this little island over here. Let me pull that one out right there. Gee, what do you think's going on here? Can we have the little island that's there, please? Yeah. Think there's maybe something going on with this volcanic island? All right, so there's little individual spots around the planet that are doing it too. Now, a couple of years ago, there were 4 of these little dots on the coast or along the Sierras here, and everybody freaked out. Well, here we are. Got a lot more than 4 now. And, well, only a few people are paying attention. Lucky you. All right, here we go. Let's get on to the ocean one. Everybody take a nice deep breath now. Here we go. I want current or the most current conditions. And, oh boy, how do we do that currently? Whoa, that changed in the last hour? It's only an hour difference right there. Let's go back to the other hour. It was one day. Okay, so yeah, that's our latest right there. Okay, so here we go. You can see the heat plume up here, more organized yellow bar. You can see our triangle structure kind of out here going. Our little plumes along there we'll talk about towards the end. Our plume down here. I heard he has blue eyes. Uh-oh. Is he about to eat Hawaii? Let's pray for the folks in Hawaii, okay? Over here, a lot of plumage going on there. In here, a lot of the yellow is retreated. You can see there's still little remnants starting to creep back in now, but we have this brown and, areas kind of cooler waters than that, so it has kind of cooled off. Starting to see this thing creeping in a little bit. Meanwhile, we do still have cold water inundation on this side as well, right? Now, heat signatures through this area kind of diminished around here, so that's good. Yeah. Let's come on down here to Java. All right, it's doing its job, relieving pressure in the area. You can see all the cold water inundation around it. So this relief valve working well, doing its its job right there. Meanwhile, we have another plume out here, and couple off the coast here. South Africa just got walloped with a pretty good storm. Maybe because they have hot and cold signatures right out next to each other. All right, and then we'll come on over here. And let me just go ahead and put the wind back. Whoa, wind. All right, so there's your heat signatures. Cold next to hot, rotation, vortex. Okay, so there's your heat signatures right there for the Atlantic. Your conveyor belt kind of going across. Whoops, take that off there, please. You can see it kind of arc, come up through this part of the country, circle back a little bit. Let me put it more like that. There you go. All right, now these things almost like looking up that way now. But, oh yeah. Let me put it back to right about there. Okay, vortex sessions going on up here. You see hot and cold vortex, hot and cold. So these two now are kind of disrupting flow. We still have our bottom part of the conveyor here going across this area. Coming up, it still kind of dips down, circles back around. All right, so a little wobbly structure there, but yeah. Only for those with eyes that see. Hopefully, most of you aren't seeing this stuff, but for those that are, well, we'll do a spiritual report at the end, okay? So here we're seeing wind come off the top here and starting to come into Oregon, Washington area. Before we're seeing all this just skirt the coast and go back down. So a lot of it's skirting the coast, but we are getting like right off of this hot spot, a little flow that's making it in. Why? Because there's cold water next to warm, a little arcing right there. And that little end of that peel off right there is kind of where it stops. The rest of it starts to turn and go down the coast because of our heat signatures. Now, this is the inside crack of the Juan de Fuca. It comes out like this and goes up. So this crack isn't bleeding so much. It's bleeding inside the little fracture zone here. All right. And I'm just going to say bleeding because it could be magma. It could be hot water too. All right. Down below in the crust is trapped layers of water. Some layers pushed up are really cold, possibly, and some are super hot. So it could be hot, most likely magma. Okay. Especially when it's coming out of the fracture zone. I'm just saying, I haven't gone diving off the coast here quite yet to go find out, but I'm pretty sure from what we've been seeing lately that we have like a little magma intrusion. Well, not intrusion, actually exhalation coming out of this crack right here. We're also seeing it off in Northern California, south of the Bay Area, and then down here in Southern California as well. Okay. See the horns. Yeah. And it's more than just pareidolia. It's the spiritual realm. Wait till you see it for yourself. You're going to. Anyways, our triangle structure here, very kind of defined here. Wonder what's a lot going on off the Pacific, off the coast of the Pacific here. All right, so there's that. Go ahead and put the wind back on there. I just want you to see that these hot and cold patches out here cause rotation. rotation lifts the storms up. We got hot water and air in the area. This is our new conveyor belt Genesis, Hurricane Genesis area now. We need more of that sand and higher concentrations to make it across Mexico and get caught up into this and quell these storms. Okay, and we saw another rotation starting to form out here a little bit on the weather part too. So, all right, there's that. Whoa, don't do that. You might twist their melon. I think I have already. But there's your, your heat signatures. All right, let's come on over to the earthquake report now. Get this pulled up. Thank you for your patience, you guys. It's going to come in handy later when you're going through some things. Practicing patience is. I'm one to talk. I've been losing my patience lately. I used to be an expert, and lately I don't know why. Got to work harder, I guess. Meanwhile, deep quake region down here. Please, Lord, can we have that one? Yeah. Our mid-range 4 down at 542. Our typical activity right there. That's good. Backed up by a 4.3 down at 520. Still typical activity. That's good. We have this island that has SO2 emissions, relieving pressure as it comes into this crack. This is the beginning of a giant crack in the ocean floor. All right, it comes all the way up here to Fiji. This is probably once the bottom of the world one time. You can tell by the way things spin off of it. Okay, so the crack has formed right in here, and that's where you start to see your energy release at the surface. But it's being relieved here. Every once in a while, we'll get something here. 4.9 down at 180. What do we do with 4.9s here? The longest list in the world is the 4.9s on the USGS site. All right, in between this big old volcano island right here, you see the plateau that it's on and the flanks that go down. Here's another volcano that's breached the surface and the flanks that go down on it. Not every volcano is perfectly round. This one has like a, diamond type shape to it. And the little valley that's in between these two, here's flanks and flanks, base right here and base right there. And bingo, 4.9. It's down at 180. That's like a little, almost like a new little vent trying to open up in that region right there. I bet you we come over here on the heat signature, we might find something right in that spot. Anyways, as we come up through here, very quiet tonight. No, no 5s, mid-range 4s, nothing in the deep area, nothing along this whole plate boundary system. Very quiet through there. Right here, we have our 4.9 again. Dang. Down to 35. It's right on. This is an interesting spot right here. I want to see this really quick. Well. Yeah, little underwater fault running through here. Big old crack. And it zigzags and cuts back. Right here. Bing, cuts back. You see the island's almost kind of shaped like it. Wouldn't that be like a fulcrum point? Sure looks like one to me. It's just underwater. Wow. You can see pressure ridge kind of continue through here. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, moving on up. Oh, bingo. Finally, 4.4. That's it. Is there any more hiding under there? Come on, tell me there's like a big flurry. No, it's just the one. Sorry, you guys. All right, so I'll take it though. 4.4 here down at 30 is relieving some kind of pressure in the area, and it's not too big to where it causes damage, so that's good. And you remember we saw a little bit of yellow starting to creep in this area right here, so We need a little more quake activity right there to keep pressures down, keep magnitudes down. This thing was locked up for a while and was just emitting SO2. So we got quake and SO2 emissions, which is good. Both of them kind of relieving pressure. Very, very quiet. Do you hear crickets? No. It's that quiet? Not over here. They had a 5.4 down at 224. This is really thick area, really thick crust in here. Let's see these little fracture zones going up through here. So hold on tight in Afghanistan. They better figure it out here soon. Here we are in Greece. 5.1 down at 39 again. This whole little plateau is like a, you see the fracture zone right down here. Okay, and these islands are just right on the very tip of this plateau out there. Just look at that. Here's a tip. It zigzags, comes back. There's a little underwater tip to this plateau right here. And then it drops down to your fracture, to the crack in the bottom of the ocean floor. And on this little shelf, it's like you could go out there and sit on this. It's just right off of the coast here. Interesting placement. Is this Sicily right here? Oh, dear. So, not Sicily. Just a tiny little island. But a lot of activity going on, or we need more activity going on. That's not enough. 5.1 is an indicator of things to come. So very quiet though for most of the world right there. Now let's come over to this region. We'll hit up the USA last. We got a 4.1 at 25. And our big quake here is the 6.1 down at 3.3. Thankfully, it's a little further in on this plateau. If we have one of the, like a 6 point or something right on the edge of the plateau right here, see how this is like a table edge and then it drops down. This is a giant wall, it goes way down to the ocean floor. And right up here is a 90-degree angle and then it goes flat like a table. If anything we get an earthquake right along the edge, it could break off a chunk and we could get an underwater landslide. See how something's broken away here before? Okay, so it's vital that we don't have quakes like this right on the edge. 4.1 right there. You see how it's, whoops, let me pull back right here. See how it's right on the corner of this edge right here? So we don't want to see anything break it away. Ooh. Excuse me, land that's really unstable right at that corner spot right there. Okay. Quick magnitude check. They look really small. Yeah, so even a drop in magnitude there. Okay, let's just go ahead and dive on into America and do all day, or all magnitudes, please. Thank you, Lord. All right. Anything else? Add just that one down South America. Okay. Coming in here to these quakes at these little islands, these little small little microquakes, all at volcanic sites, relieves a lot of pressure in this region and has kept a cold water band in this area because of all these small quakes and relieving pressure like that. Even little microquakes like that are like, almost like pinholes in the tube of the bike tire with a slow leak, similar to our SO2 emissions. They relieve pressure in micro doses like this, but a bunch of them can, over time, relieve a significant amount. Current activity 2.1 is nothing big. I want to see our biggest one on this fulcrum point right here. 2.5, 1.8. Yeah, so the biggest is the 2.5 on the fulcrum there. Come down here. Okay. Let's talk about this region, folks. Here we go. Very quiet along this whole plate boundary system. We need more earthquakes in here in like pronto. I mean, I'll take 5, a 6 or something that's, won't cause a tsunami, but we need to start relieving pressure here because it's this inside crack right here that I believe we're seeing magma coming out of this thing. Now, pressure pushing this way, pressure pushing this way. If it doesn't snap here, if this is lubricated with magma, hot water, that would loosen up the grip that this all locked up, right? It would loosen up the grip and we could possibly see a slip and a thrust quake right there that would just be can't even imagine it yet. All right, so there's no activity at Rainier, just a small one at that's not even St. Helens. But very quiet along this whole area. Let's check our fulcrum point. 2.9. Let's bump it up to a 3 so I can breathe easier. No, we can't do that. But it was probably darn close to a 3. I don't know why they would lower it, but I want that blue stuff off there, please, Lord. Thank you. So, not enough, but it's some. All right, nothing pushed inland here. Just our regular activity down here at the geysers. Some smaller stuff. This little peninsula up here that's about to. This little peninsula right here, they built a community on it, and shaking here, it's going to cause this peninsula to slough. And we've been seeing quake activity around it. It's a different kind of quake activity, I believe, because we're seeing kind of something going on in there. 1.7 there, that's nothing. We're getting our quake swarm over here. Ooh, woo, woo, what's going on here? Goldfield, Nevada. I know where this is. Oh, well. Look at this. It's in a line, too. See this? 2.1. We got us a little weak spot growing right there, you guys. Some other activity in the surrounding region right here, too. Watch that carefully. That's good. That's a little release of energy there inside of Nevada there. What's that? 2.1 at Alamo. All right, coming down through here, I want to kind of check this region really quick. Yesterday I think it was only 3 quakes here, so we've had a couple more. 2.2, 2.4. It takes any kind of energy we can scrub here. We're seeing activity out in this region now, Mojave. Coming down through here, getting a little active. Let's check our big one, our biggest quake here, 1.9. You're not feeling anything, but look at this. Here's a new little quake swarm starting on these little, on the slope where a lot of runoff here. These are all really shallow too. Okay, so we got a couple of little sites, little new paths of least resistance that are kind of appeared here and then up there by that little stripe that we saw up here in Nevada. Okay, so a little activity in new spots opening up here. Quake outside of Salt Lake here too. And up here in Wyoming, Yellowstone area, just a little micro quake. It's nothing big, but just showing you that, hey, it's still moving around in there. Biggest quake here was a 3.1 in Oklahoma today. Big storm rolled through Nebraska today. We had some geomagnetic storm enhancement up there today. Just kind of made me think of that. Meanwhile, 2 here in Oklahoma. Good little flurry going on here in New Mexico still. And then we got this out on the Craton, a 2.0 in North Carolina down at 7.7. Hope you guys have been listening to Mike about the Appalachian Mountains and the structure that's underneath them. This area is very, very fragile. and is being supported and maintained, we'll say. So any kind of activity in that area is got to watch carefully. So we covered that. I want to come out here to Hawaii real quick. I want to see what's going on here. Okay, a little scattered activity today. 2.3s. I mean, they're nothing big here to write home about, but these aren't microquakes. These are twos, lower twos, but still a fair amount of pressure going on, pressure release going on here at the hub. 2.8, that's a little good, a little better. What was that one? And a 2.8 as well. So a couple of matching 2.8s right here. Same kind of activity there. Much rather see it there than over there. Okay. So I think that pretty much covers everything. All right. So while we're at this juncture, I am going to start taking down some of these other links and clearing my computer so we can open up some other instruments. Some of these take up too much space on my weak little laptop, but thankfully it's performing because my last computer still possessed. Yeah, watch out for AI. It'll possess your computer. All right, so let's get our volcano page going. Please, Lord. All right, 34 and 33 is 67. That's an awful lot of volcanoes, don't you think? No? Well, you probably been here at this show too long, and I've desensitized you to the fact that pure insanity is 67 currently erupting volcanoes. Well, currently active, I should say. Okay. And if I had told you 7 years ago when all this stuff started happening to me that if 7 years from now you're going to see 67 volcanoes active on the face of the planet and then all over the ocean, you would have said, Brian, you're crazy. Well, here we are 7 years later, and I am still crazy about you. That's why I do this. I have been through all kinds of wonderful things just to get to this point. So I'm fighting for you guys. See all those names up there? Good. IBU, Ibu, at 10,000 feet. Luatobi, 9,000. Samaru, 14,000. Dukono, 8,000. White Island, look at this. Volcanic ash advisory, continuous low-level eruptions. Probably got those guys shaking a little bit in their boots. Fuego 15, Nevada del Ruiz 23. Wow, that's pretty impressive out of Nevada del Ruiz. Sangay 20 and Reventador 15. Sabancaya 22. Namiragira, almost sounds like Godzilla's other nemesis. Namiragira. All right. Effusive eruption. And that was just in the last few minutes. Come here, you go. Sorry. Don't feel like getting bit by a mosquito tonight. What's even in here? The critters. Okay. Now, that was just in the last few minutes. Let's get into what was today and is now yesterday because, well, time flies here at this channel. And if time flies when you're having fun, then you must be having fun at this channel. All right. Can we, thank you. A lot of red on that map right there. There used to be a lot of yellow. All the yellow ones are starting slowly filling in with red and becoming more and more active. Okay, don't forget down here, got activity in Antarctica too. All right, let's get into it. Svarensky, so-called spatter ramparts. IBU at 10,000 feet. EBU, however you want to pronounce it. Luatobi 9, sensors, free internet, seniors, free internet. Semaru 14, Ducono 8, White Island, still continuous low-level eruptions. Fuego 15, Nevada Del Ruiz, another good blast, 23. I think that's the same one. Sangay 20, Reventador 15, Sabancaya 22, and then there are these lists. Close your eyes. Do not look at these. This is your insanity, all right? But that is a lot of volcanoes. And the list keeps getting longer and longer. It's not like it's going backwards. You know, we were saying 65 volcanoes, just last week, and we're at 67. So we're just tacking them on. Okay, that is just crazy. Both those lists are just insanity. And you can go click on one of these and they'll tell you all about it. Here, let's go to Popocatépetl here, right outside Mexico City. Just really quick here. Let me. Popocatépetl, Mexico. Reported that an eruptive activity continued at Popocatépetl during 13th through the 20th of August. That's a whole week. All right, so other little deeper stories when you click on each one of these tell you all about it. Okay, so a lot of craziness right there, and don't let these lists desensitize you too. You know, that's if there's that many on land, then there's double that amount underwater, and we're at 200 plus. So now we want to do the weather report here real quick. Want to get that one pulled up and the VentuSky one as well. So, Laura, can we have this one, please? Just the weather page, please. Okay, you know what I can do? We can get rid of the volcano page if it's really going to hold it up. Now, how about the weather? Just thinking about it. Like, I don't know. Maybe we'll give you the weather, maybe not. Circling. We having internet issues? Nope. Oh, you are currently offline. Shouldn't be. You guys are still with me, right? Yeah, we're not offline. Your site may be offline. All right, well, let's just move on without the weather report. Let's go to VentuSky really quick. I want to see if we can get that one pulled up. Could have swore I was offline there. All right, we'll just come over here real quick because all I want to do really is talk about these hurricanes. They're coming at Hawaii. We on radar? Come on now. All right, it's right here that I want to look at the projected paths. Really, that's all that they got for right now, huh? Can we go back just a little bit? No projected path right now for this one. That's a little disturbing. I wanted to see here. Let's go back a little bit further. I want to see what their last projection was. No, not even. All right, well, maybe it's diminishing, but still looks to hit the Hawaiian Islands kind of head on. So even if it's not hurricane strength or whatever right now, I'd still kind of be a little more prepared than the last one because the last one went south. This one's going to be going right through the island chain, it looks like. So we'll have to watch that closely there. And come over here. We're going to open it up. Let's try to get you back online. Very interesting. The weather page isn't opening tonight. So I guess we're bypassing the forecast anyway. There's some of your weather around the world. I was really kind of hoping to see a little, just any kind of little direction out of this. You see the way the wind patterns are going. So they're going to take it, looks like it right through there. So everybody in Hawaii, hold on tight. You got another big storm coming at you. And let's just pray that, geomagnetic enhancement doesn't, come in and do anything. We want more sand to diminish the power of these as well. All right, so there's that. I guess we're going to skip the weather report tonight. We had some pretty serious weather today. Tornadoes up in, was it North Dakota, South Dakota? And quite the cloud structure. Not a very big or devastating tornado, but our supercell structure is getting very, very, very interesting, very big, broad, unique, very powerful looking storms. So we got to be on edge, or not on edge, but just on alert about your weather every day. Just kind of know what's going to be coming your way so you don't get caught off guard. Okay. Now let's just get into our spiritual report here. Albums, start that one. And all kinds of stuff being captured in the clouds lately these days. I showed you the one from last night. And we're going to pull up a couple different ones here. Got a few other people here right now. We might go a little bit into background just a minute because it's only been an hour doing this. So I'll go do a little bit of background just for a minute. There it is. Just really quick here. Side over here. Sorry. The second flare. Here it comes. Boom. Here's our object right here. And as it starts to move away, you'll see it cause a third flare. Boom. Here's our object right here. This looks like Nibiru. It's got a wing coming off on this side and a wing coming off on that side. And that's not all, because behind that is this big object right here. This is what's causing our flares. Here's a conduit of plasma that is sucking off of our sun, going into this planet. Here's a damage ring or an impact zone on this planet right here. You can see Nibiru sticking out in front of it here. Run this backwards. You can see it goes backwards. There's the second flare. Back behind the sun, comes back out. There's the first flare. So the mass of that object is sucking material off of our sun, causing these solar flares. Boom, right there. Back behind the sun. All right, so this event right here, where my life changed. September 10th, 2017. This image was sitting on my computer, and then, God showed me the rest. Showed me this thing that's back behind it. Here's an example. This is from Stereo A's perspective back in the day. And you can see our bigger object right here interacting with the sun. The white circle is the size of the sun. This thing's much bigger. Okay. Here's your other stellar core or Nibiru with the wings. This thing's pulling pulling material back off of this other Stella core, still stripping this body down to the core, and there's still material streaming back this way, and it gets illuminated when electrified, creating those little wings. Okay, and then tonight we saw a moon with wings pointing a different way, huh? Those wings were going across the grain because they were pointing back to the structure that's back behind it. See what I'm saying? Okay. So this is September 10th of 2017. This is 13 days before the Revelation 12 star alignment on September 23rd of 2017. 13 days before the star alignment, the dragon stood in front of the woman ready to devour her child. Okay. So this is the day my life changed, when September 10th, Nemesis and Nibiru show up. The dragon of Revelation 12 stood before the woman, in front of the woman. That's 13 days before. That's 13 days in front of the 23rd. Then the 23rd happened, and everybody saw that star alignment. That should have shaken the world right there. 2,000-year-old prophecy came true. That should have rocked everybody. But no, they all batted an eye and started looking for the dragon, because in the Revelation it says, then a second sign appeared, a dragon stood in front of her. But you didn't read it right. You think it says the dragon appeared after, but it says it stood in front of her. It stood before her. So 13 days before the star alignment stood, the dragon stood in front of the woman by 13 days. Okay. Then the 23rd was the star alignment. That should have shaken the world. But they all kind of started looking for the dragon and they missed it. And that's why God showed it to me. It's like, nah, they all missed it. This is it right here. I couldn't see it for the longest time. It took me forever to see it. I didn't see this right off the bat. I struggled with it for hours. It's like, no, keep looking, think the big picture, look like this, do this. I'm like, oh, I can't, I don't see what you're talking about. But finally exposed. I see it now. And there's your dragon standing in front of the woman. All right. And then something else after that day, my life kind of changed. And it really started to change right after this day right here.
And praying all.
Let me just kind of get you right to this part right here, because this event actually happened first. I hadn't found it for a couple of years later, and now I understood why. But a couple of years later, I went back through the security camera footage to see if I found anything else, and here's this. So we're just going to let you watch this for a second. This kind of helps explain some stuff too.
With our same display right here. And this was actually captured the day before the other picture, but I hadn't found it for years later until I was digging around through my old pictures and stuff, and went even further back to see if I'd missed anything. And I captured this one, and we're going to zoom into this streak right up here, this one right here.
Really quick, I want you to note, let's see if we can tilt the camera up a tad bit without knocking everything off. The date up top here is October 4th, 2017. See that date up there, October 4th, 2017 up there? That's 13 days, no, 11 days, sorry, after the Revelation 12 sign. I'm sorry, I got to remount my thing here for a second. All right, you guys capturing, or you guys understanding that, right? The time frame? This is 11 days after the Revelation 12 star alignment.
Just bear with me for a second here. Now, hopefully, you can see that we have a lady's profile here. Here's her eye, here's her forehead, her snub little nose. Here's the bottom jaw. She's smiling. She's looking down and she's holding a baby. And here's the baby's head right here. Here's the face, the back of the head. Here's her arm cupped around like this. And she's holding the baby. Now I'm going to run this through the filter real quick, and it's going to enhance it, but a little bit too much. Let's see, now you can really make out her profile a lot better and see her face, and her headdress is coming over and going down back behind her. And you can still make out the baby's head right here. And maybe if I pull back a little bit, there we go. And this was captured on October 4th. So this was about 11 days after the Revelation 12 sign. All this stuff started happening to me just prior to the Revelation 12 sign and then right after it. So it said the woman was about to give birth. Well, it looks like maybe she gave birth, and here's the little baby being caught up to God. Yep, it's a lot better there. Hopefully you guys can see this a little bit better now than before. We'll undo the filter real quick just so you can get the original. Now you can see the baby's head just a little bit better. You can make out his little ear. And then we'll put the filter back in again. And there we go. There's your Revelation 12 baby being born right there in my garage, caught on my security camera. So that's it for now.
Okay, so that was October 4th. Then the very next day, I made the wake-up call video that I showed you. All right. And finally posted it. I had only posted some stupid little car show videos and some of the wildlife around my yard, just fiddling around with the YouTube channel, right? So I wasn't really all that experienced at posting stuff. And then when he showed me that, I understood why I was all this practicing with YouTube. Oh, I get it. You want me to warn everybody about that. So I struggled with it, but I finally did it, and I was a mess. And here I am out here crying, screaming, and praying. I thought I was going to die. I thought that was it. I thought my life was over. I completed my mission. I warned everybody, and here's where I die. But something else happened instead.
Folks, welcome back. So I've been going through some of the old photos and running them through the filter, and this was one of the first ones that I had ever captured. And what's going on here is I'm here on my knees. I'm crying and screaming and praying, all three at once. I was in some extreme anguish. A paranormal traumatic event happened to me. Something so unbelievable you guys wouldn't believe it. So if I told you, so I'm going to show you instead. So in this image here, I'm sitting here praying, and Mary's head appears right next to my head, and we're going to zoom in on this. You can't go in too tight on it, but she's looking down at my head this way. Let's see, there's pretty good. And you can make out her eye.
Here we're too close in on this.
Her shawl coming
There we
over,
go.
and it's in shadow right here. This is a shadow of the inside of her shawl going over her head like this. There's her eye, nose, side there. Okay. You can't go in too tight on it. And then also is this white ball with an eye in it, this white orb with an eye in it. Okay, and that's not all, because over here in this corner up here is an angel. The silhouette of an angel with his wings spread, with his back to us, standing in a shaft of light. Here's his head. There's a glow over the head. The wings are extended, and there's a feather coming off. The last feather coming off is crossing over these brown roof tiles in the background here. And you can make out there's an angel right here. And you can even see his head right here. Going a little bit tighter. So there's the angel with his back to us and his wings spread. Yeah, you can see a lot better with the filter. Before it was really faint and it was hard to see. Same with this. This came out a little bit better here. Yeah, there's Mary looking down at my head because I was in anguish. I mean, what happened to me was just so disturbing. I can't even describe it. I was in.
All right, so I already kind of told you about that part, but there's Mary and angels and this God Eye showing up here. Okay, this was October 5th, 2017. All right, and there's a little bit more going on than meets the eye here. Okay, this is an anointing ceremony. All right, usually when you got Mary and God and angels, well, Jesus is in the same picture somewhere. Well, he's in there if you know what to look for. Okay. Now, let's get some more images pulled up. I showed you a bunch of the cloud work that follows me everywhere I go, UFO activity that follows me ever since I was a kid, everywhere I go, ascended masters that watch and follow me everywhere I go. You guys want to see this angel real quick here? Nope. All right. We'll go for an ad instead. There we go.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So I'm real excited to show you this one. This is an angel that was captured on my security cameras, and now I've run it through the filter here. So if you turn your head to the right, about 45 degrees, you can make out the head, the hair, the breasts. It's a female, the torso, the waist, the legs coming down here, a wing coming off here, a wing coming off over here. And we'll zoom in on this real quick because this one's nice and.
Let's just stop right there because we don't want to zoom in too far. But if you tilt your head to the right, you guys, can you see this angel? Can you see what I just described there? Imagine having this kind of evidence and then trying to describe to a doctor, hey, I've captured angels on video and you can see them. And they go, oh, you're seeing angels? You need to be locked up. No, 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 no. You didn't hear me clearly. I've captured them. Go look at my channel. Oh, well, we can't entertain your delusions. And I'm like, no, it's not a delusion. It's the real thing. It's very important, too, because this is the real thing. You're looking at the spiritual realm. This is the real deal. Captured on a security camera that's admissible as evidence in a court of law. All right. And then to be dragged through what I went through, all because nobody would take 5 minutes to look. I could have been saved years and years of imprisonment and agony and all kinds of weird human behavior if I just tilted your head and looked for 5 minutes. And it wasn't until years later I finally got one therapist that at the end of the session, she would let me have 5 minutes of my own session to do what I wanted. And I said, okay, at the end of the session, I'm going to show you what I captured. So the doc tilts his head to the right and sees the angel. And his jaw drops a little bit. And I go, do you see it now? Do you see the angel? And he says, yeah. Uh-oh. We're going to have to lock you up, doc, because you're seeing angels. And then it kind of snapped. It kind of triggered in his head. Wait a second. This is what you were trying to describe. And then we did all this to you. And it, and then it occurred to him what he did. So I've been through a lot, but beautiful, beautiful image here of this angel hovering over the sleeping child, protecting him from this guy right here. See these two little evil eyes, this little demonoid right here is trying to give this kid some bad dreams or something. This little angel pops in. Look at this. This is a real image, you guys.
That you can. Okay. And this
It's got a
is an
face.
angel that was caught hovering in a shaft of light over this sleeping child down below here. So.
You see when we pull back how it gets clearer? When it's further back here. All right. And there's that shaft of light again. And here's this angel in a shaft of light. Beautiful image that everybody hates. They all hated this image. They didn't want to look at it for the longest time. But still a beautiful image. Okay. Now back to our this. We're going to do our readings now. And I got more to do. So I have to kind of wrap this up. But cool big old arm came out of the sky with a finger sticking off of it and a wedding ring on it with a big old rock, dude. It's so funny. The rock on this ring is uh, like the ring pop. You know, the candy that you eat. It's got the big old giant out of proportion diamond. Yeah, God's
Sky.
he's got that's for sure.
See
All
his
right, big old
face here?
rock. All right, yeah,
There's a
there we go. Let's try to get this just a tad bit right there. That's good. All right, we don't care about the wavy lines going through my face in the clouds. We're more interested in that right there, where all this stuff's coming from. That's Jesus pulling his shirt open, exposing his heart. Okay, and everything's radiated out and from there, making my face in the clouds of the crown. Okay, so we got that one pulled up, and we got. Let's do the other weird one. That one was kind of get away from that one by the moon. Oh no, I can't show you that stuff yet. I gotta verify that. Which one we're doing? Oh yeah. Let's pull it up real quick. Get this out of the way. World Designs, please. There it is. Come over to this channel. They do a really good job. World Designs. Look at this hole in the clouds right there. All right, that's not a hurricane. That's not the eye of a hurricane. That was over Sweden. Okay, so they got all kinds of cool captures get sent into this channel. And they post some of the cool stuff on the community page here. We're just going to kind of zip through these. You'll have to come over to look at them closer because all I want to do is get to this one picture that we're going to read to. It was just captured, our latest capture, kind of. Right there. And we're going to bust it open just a little bit more because it got cropped and there's a halo up here above it in the clouds. All right. That's me in the clouds again. They're making fun of me and my crazy haircut and oops. Is it a creature? Oh yeah, here. All right, so get to reading here. There's that image. There's this. All kinds of captures. My face in the clouds. When you see these things start to happen, look up. You will see me coming in the clouds with power and great glory. Oh, here's my face showing up on Easter in the clouds with a crown signifying power and great glory. Let's go like that, kind of, so we can get them all in there. So we got our 3 images there. That's good. That one's good. All right, cool. I'm gonna turn on my light here. Oh, it's so wet. My wood's so weird. Oh, you guys have been so patient. We get to this part finally. Some of the other background information is important. You know, it's not just, hey, look at me. This is what happened to me. Feel sorry for me or I'm special. No, 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 no. I show you all that background stuff as your foundation to give you the solid foundation. Okay? When you look at this and I keep telling you, this is your rock, this is your foundation. I'm showing you, you're getting to know me, all right? I know all about you, but you're getting to know me. So some of that foundation work, you're getting to know me. That's what happened to me back on September in 2017. And this September of 2024 will be 7-year anniversary. My 7 years of tribulation. But what a ride, man. It's worth it. It is so worth it. I'm so glad that I'm able to take what I have found and share it with my family, okay? And I can't come over to your house right now and come sit on your couch. You're probably kind of cozy right where you are. but I can meet with you in the air, okay, of cyberspace. That's why we go live every night, right? And the change of the day happens during this show for my time zone and for a lot of other people when they first watch this is the opening hours of their day. So you're starting your day with me as well. Okay, all kinds of good stuff. Now, take a deep breath right there. And I want to put it on this one with the heart. Let's get that heart a little closer to the screen, can we, Lord? I want a better image. Picky. I'm sorry. I get perfection. Well, there we go. Let's just start right there. So, we're trying to be at peace here. We see a lot of disturbing things, and it's important to be still and to be at peace. So, it's important to thank me for the conditions that are requiring you to be still. Okay, so we're putting forth effort to be still. It's hard to be still because there are conditions that are requiring it that it's hard. So thank me for those conditions that are requiring you to be still, and do not spoil these quiet hours by wishing them away, waiting impatiently to be active again. Some of the greatest works in my kingdom have been done from sickbeds and prison cells. Instead of resenting the limitations of a weakened body, search for my way in the midst of these very circumstances. I want you to understand, limitations can be liberating when your strongest desire is to live close to me. All of a sudden you see that your physical limitations, your pain and stuff can be liberating when you view them from the bigger picture. When you're living close to me and you view things from my perspective, you see that you're overcoming that pain, aren't you? Even though you have some afflictions, you have to have something to work against, right? So those are you don't resent your limitations. Those are the very things that strengthen you. So instead of resenting those limitations of the weakened body, search for my way in the midst of the circumstances. Okay, look at some of your injuries. How many guys got a sore right shoulder? How many of you guys got a really sore left hip? How many of you people got pulled muscles up and down your back? They're very similar symptoms, and you look at them as limitations, but they're not. So instead of resenting the limitations, look at them differently. Limitations can be liberating when your strongest desire is to live close to me. Now, quietness and trust enhance your awareness of my presence with you. Quietness and trust enhances our communion together, doesn't it? It enhances your awareness of my presence now here with you. So don't despise these simple ways of serving me. And although you feel cut off from the activity of the world, your quiet trust makes a powerful statement in the spiritual realms. My strength and power show themselves most effectively in weakness. Okay? You pray for strength, you get adversity because you overcome that adversity, and what do you have left over? Strength. It's not like I magically just make you big old strong muscles. No. You see how it works? So come to me with all your weakness, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Okay, there are three different kinds. You got weakness going on physically, you got weakness going on emotionally and spiritually. But I want you to rest in the comfort of my presence, remembering that nothing is impossible with me. Pry your mind away from your problems so you can focus your attention on me. Recall that I am able to do immeasurably more than all you ask or imagine. So instead of trying to direct me to do this and that, seek to tune yourself to what I am already doing. I am already doing. That means I am already here doing stuff. You need to pry your mind away from your problems. Focus on me. Remember, I can do more than you ask or imagine. Don't try to pray and direct me to do this and that. Look for what I am already doing. And when anxiety attempts to wedge its way into your thoughts, remind yourself that I am your shepherd. The bottom line is that I am taking care of you. Therefore, you needn't be afraid of anything. Rather than trying to maintain control over your life, abandon yourself to my will. And though this may feel frightening and even dangerous, the safest place to be is in my will. Okay? You want a safe place? Well, you go out on the limb, give it a chance. Rather than trying to maintain control of your own life, surrender, abandon yourself to my will. Okay? You'll find you'll have peace in your heart when you do. I got what's on the back side of that card? Yeah, more of that. Good, you got more. And this kind of requires you to give yourself fully to the adventure of the day. Walk boldly along the path of life, relying on your ever-present champion. Ever-present champion. You have every reason to be confident because my presence accompanies you all the days of your life and onward into eternity now. Okay, so do not give in to fear or worry. Those are robbers of abundant living. Trust me enough to face problems as they come rather than trying to anticipate them. How many of us try to anticipate the problem before it even comes? Trust me enough to face the problems as they come rather than trying to anticipate them. That's what causes your anxiety. You're so future tripping about future problems. No. Just face your problems as they come. Fix your eyes on me. I am the author and perfecter of your faith. And many difficulties on the road ahead will vanish before you even reach them. Do you hear me? Many of the obstacles on your road will vanish before you reach them. And you've been future tripping about them and they already vanished. Quit wasting time future tripping. Deal with the things as they come. The road ahead will vanish before you reach the difficulties on the road ahead may vanish before you reach them. So whenever you start to feel afraid, remember that I am holding you by your right hand, and nothing can separate you from my presence. Nothing. Nothing can separate you from my presence. Okay, when you get that in every nook and cranny of your mind and heart, you'll feel better. Okay? I want peace. I want you to be at peace. Peace be with you. Ever since the resurrection, this has been my watchword to those who yearn for me. So as you sit quietly, let my peace settle over you and enfold you in my loving presence. To provide this radiant peace for you, I died a criminal's death. Receive my peace abundantly and thankfully. It is a rare treasure, dazzling in delicate beauty, yet strong enough to withstand all onslaughts. Wear my peace with regal dignity, and it will keep your heart and mind close to mine. Okay, that was our closer. I want you to wear my peace with regal dignity. It will keep your heart and mind close to mine. And then peace will be with you. Sit quietly. Let my peace settle over and enfold you in my loving presence. I'm enfolding you in my loving presence right here, right now, with these readings. It will keep your heart and mind close to mine. You'll have courage. You'll have peace that transcends your circumstances. You'll be able to look at your circumstances and your pain, emotional, physical, and spiritual afflictions and pain as the weaknesses that you overcome that make you strong in those areas. Now you will be, little do you know, your physical when you're like, say I have to walk with a cane, right? But I overcome the pain to make it through the store. That means a lot more. Okay, all that stuff becomes spiritual achievements. And that's what we're trying to chalk up to some spiritual achievements. It's important that you try to don't let the world steal your joy. You still have to find joy throughout the course of the day. If your day goes south a little bit and goes a little cockeyed, well, we got to salvage our day. Okay, not every day is perfect. Sometimes we have good days and bad days, and sometimes we have a half good, half bad day. All right, some days you got to salvage the day, and it's important that you learn the art of salvaging your day so you can be happy inside. And then when you talk to somebody else, that happiness will shine from your face into their life. And that's what you're doing. You're seeing how the world is going down now, okay? You're starting to see how important it is to have this peace now, huh? To have this knowledge. This isn't just your regular, ordinary YouTube live stream. This is a family. You are getting to know me. We're building a relationship. It's not a religion. It's a relationship. And when you build a relationship with somebody, you learn to trust them after a while. And we're building that trust so you can indeed have the trust that's proportional to the peace that you get from this rock, your foundation. I'm here. I'm back. The world is showing the signs all over the place. I keep explaining a lot of this stuff along the way too, okay? Because I want you guys to understand, and I want you to know, all right? I do, in fact, complete your faith. You now know, okay? Your prayers are being heard. And by the way, thank you for praying for me. You know, I had some relief of pain because somebody was praying for me, for Brian Knight, they were praying to Jesus and stuff, but somebody actually, I prayed for Brian's pain to, go away, and it didn't all go away, but I noticed a significant change because, well, somebody prayed for me. So thank you. And you know who you are. And I know who you are. So thank you. And there's other people that pray out there for me and stuff. But that was a good one. I appreciate it. And that's how we're supposed to do this. We pray for each other. Okay. It works. It helps. Okay. Maybe not work the way you want it to, but it helps. Okay. So I appreciate your prayers. Thank you for your time. That's what matters to me. I fought for so long to get just 5 minutes of anybody's time. And you guys have given me almost 2 hours. So that blesses you doubly, triply. You guys are just plowing forward now and having results. It's you getting the results that is the joy of the Lord. When you get success from my help and you get relief and peace, that's what makes me happy. I'm not an egotistical person. I'm not like, hey, look what I discovered. Look at me, blah, blah. No, it's totally different than that. This is not for making money off of. This is for sharing with my family. You guys are my family. If you see me here in the clouds and you're caught up, you're intrigued, you get into a YouTube, a good book, a good YouTube live stream, or a good TikTok thread, you get caught up, and the rest of the world the situations of the world kind of disappear and fade into the background when you're caught up with me in the clouds. You are. You guys should be breathing easy because this is the real deal. You are truly blessed. You're truly part of my family, and you're getting to know me. All right? This is me in the clouds. You are caught up with me in the clouds. I can't come over to your house, but I like to meet with you guys in the air cyberspace, going live on YouTube every night. All right? So I do. I go live every night on YouTube so I can meet my family in the air and they can get caught up with me in the clouds, and we can do some of our spiritual work while we're waiting. Okay? And while we're waiting, we're working on salvation, which is salvage work. When you bring that spark into somebody else's life, that's the salvation. You're helping them through their salvation too, okay? So I'm helping you through yours. You reflect me through you into others, and now you're helping others with their salvation as well. And you guys are doing awesome. I mean, some of you really are like go-getters now, and that's what I like, are go-getters. So go get them. You got nothing holding you back. Okay, just don't forget, include me in it, and you're gonna be blown away by what really happens. And a lot of you have found the miracle, and you see that it really works, and that's why you're here each night, so we can all be together. I just love you guys. I miss you guys. This has been quite a wild ride that I've been on for a while here. Okay, and well, I do it because I love you guys, all right? And this is so funny because it's the name where it comes from. I've been watching some of these the names of places. Like we had a 7.0 in Anchorage way back when. Well, 7.0, well, that's God's numbers. Anchor age, well, that describes the age that we're in of the anchors. So all kinds of hints being dropped in the names of the places. It's just, God's got a sense of humor too. Okay, so Slow Fucking Hungry on August 20th. I think that was the day I fasted. I was kind of hungry that day. But yeah, here's me, and I probably blowing smoke out my nose that day or something. And but real images. This is other people capturing this too now. Okay, it's not just my faces in there, or me capturing faces in the cloud. They're showing up all around the world now, which should give you guys even more comfort. Okay, it's not I'm trying to prove my point or anything. This is all to give you guys peace and comfort. Okay, Oh, look at these eyes right here looking up. I think that's my puppy dog looking up at me or something. Can I have a treat? All right. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Until my next show, I will be back. I'm already back. And you're part of that family. Bye. Love you. Bye.